I love what I do. I'm happy to play here, and that hunger won't subside. It'll be maintained because I just love playing.
There are moments in baseball where speculation transforms into something dangerously close to reality, where whispers turn into conversations, conversations into tension, and suddenly the sport that thrives on tradition becomes overwhelmed by change. Right now, that sensation is building in Boston, a city that breathes baseball, a franchise wrapped in history, passion, expectation, and pressure, now finds itself surrounded by a narrative that feels equal parts thrilling and terrifying. Because while so much attention has circled Alex Bregman as the key obsession of the Boston Red Sox offseason, another name has suddenly charged into the spotlight. Another superstar, another possibility, another direction that could change the course of this franchise's future. Bo Bichette. It sounds surreal at first, almost too dramatic to embrace. Boston chasing Bo instead of Bregman? Boston stepping away from the expected to chase something bolder, younger, riskier, yet potentially far more rewarding? This isn't simply rumor mill fantasy anymore. Day by day, the possibility grows stronger. Reports intensify. Insiders analyze the shifting tone of negotiations. Executives around the league start whispering that the Red Sox front office may not be as locked in on Bregman as everyone thought. Something else may be brewing. A plan driven by youth, long-term dominance, and the desire to build a core that can shape the next generation of Red Sox baseball. What makes this story even more emotionally charged is how Boston arrived here. The Red Sox entered this offseason under enormous pressure. Fans demanded movement, critics demanded accountability. The franchise could not afford another stale, conservative approach. The American League East is ruthless, relentless, and unforgiving. The Yankees are always looming. The Orioles are surging with youth. The Blue Jays, despite turmoil, remain dangerous. Boston needed to make a statement, not just to the league, but to themselves. And the narrative forming around Alex Bregman felt perfect. A proven champion, a leader, a consistent offensive presence, a defensive rock at third base. Everything lined up so cleanly until it didn't. Somewhere between Bregman is Boston's top priority and deal incoming any day now, cracks began to appear. Negotiations dragged. Conversations grew uncertain. There were questions of fit, comfort, willingness. Did Bregman truly see Boston as home? Was he ready to carry the weight of replacing legends and reviving expectations in one of the most emotionally demanding markets in sports? Suddenly, Boston's aggressive pursuit became less of a sprint and more of a test of patience. Meanwhile, another opportunity quietly formed in the background. Bo Bichette represents something completely different. Younger, fiercer, driven not by legacy already written, but by the hunger to shape one. 28 years old, prime years ahead. Bat still fueling itself toward its peak. A hitter capable of changing games, changing seasons, changing expectations. The kind of player who does not simply fill a lineup spot, but becomes a face of the franchise, a foundational pillar, a symbol of future promise. And while Bregman is the steady veteran presence, Bichette brings something uniquely electrifying. A chance for Boston not just to compete, but to evolve. But with that opportunity comes complexity. Signing Bichette doesn't simply mean writing a contract. It means committing to years, to trust, to future identity. 8 years, over $200 million. A marriage between player and franchise that stretches deep beyond the immediate present. That kind of commitment demands confidence. It demands belief. It demands certainty that the player will not just be great now, but continue to elevate himself. Continue to anchor the team well into the next decade. And somehow, Boston seems increasingly willing to take that leap. Especially as the rumor mill unfolds another dramatic twist. Market dominoes begin to wobble. Toronto's own priorities appear to be shifting. If the Blue Jays take a path toward other stars like Kyle Tucker, if the Cubs or even the Diamondbacks swoop in and steal Bregman away, suddenly the marketplace reshapes itself entirely. Bichette would no longer be a Plan B shadow lurking behind Bregman. He would become the top remaining position player available, the crown jewel of free agency, the star every serious contender would crave. And in that moment, Boston would have something powerful, position, leverage, attraction. Because while Toronto and Chicago might remove themselves from the battlefield, Boston remains very much alive, very much hungry, very much capable of stepping forward while the Dodgers lurk like the eternal superpower of baseball free agency. And in that high-stakes battlefield, Boston cannot afford hesitation. They cannot afford indecision. They cannot afford to watch yet another superstar slip away, while a fan base grows increasingly restless and a franchise risks drifting further from its own standards of greatness. Inside the Red Sox offices, this isn't just a negotiation, it is a philosophical war. Do you choose the known certainty of Bregman or the thrilling potential of Bichette? Do you prioritize immediate structure or long-term domination? Do you turn toward a veteran to stabilize the present or toward a younger weapon to rewrite the future? Every decision echoes beyond the contract itself. Every choice shapes narratives. Every success or failure will be remembered, celebrated, or condemned for years. Around the league, executives watch with fascination, analysts debate endlessly, sports networks dissect every rumor, every leak, every projected deal. Red Sox fans argue passionately online, some loyal to the original plan, others desperate to embrace this younger alternative. There is excitement, there is fear, there is anticipation, and there is the always present emotional heartbeat of Boston baseball, the expectation that something big must happen. Meanwhile, Bo Bichette stands at the center of a swirling storm he did not create, a player reaching the height of his career, a star who has spent years anchoring Toronto's lineup through thrilling highs and painful disappointments. And now, without ever stepping onto Fenway soil, he may soon become one of the most discussed names in Boston sports. A potential savior, a potential risk, a potential future icon wearing Red Sox colors. There is also the very real icy possibility that Boston ends this war empty-handed, that the Dodgers tighten their grip on the market, that other franchises slam their chips into the center, that negotiations fracture once again. The nightmare scenario exists. No Bregman, no Bichette. Another offseason of what if, echoing through Fenway Park. That fear lingers, pressing the urgency even harder on Boston's leadership. Mistakes cannot happen now. Hesitation cannot define this winter. This is a defining crossroads. And so the tension builds, slowly, intensely, electrically. Boston stands staring at a future that could swing dramatically in different directions, depending on one decision, one signing, one emotional commitment to either stability or evolution. The market waits. The media watches. The fan base breathes in the uncertainty while clinging to hope that this time the Red Sox will not simply be part of the conversation, but the force that changes it. Because this is not just about signing a player, it is about rewriting trajectory. It is about restoring pride. It is about proving once again that the Boston Red Sox do not sit back and watch baseball history happen. They create it. And if Bo Bichette is indeed the choice, if Boston does decide that youth, long-term brilliance, and dynamic potential are worth betting on, then this offseason will not simply be remembered as a rumor-filled stretch of speculation. It will be remembered as the moment Boston declared they were done playing cautiously, done drifting, done hesitating. It would become the moment the Red Sox chose to chase greatness again.